I'm back on my bullshit, and today I'm going to talk to y'all about abstinence. I've been saying I'm celibate, but to be honest, I'm really abstinent. So celibacy is the state of abstaining from marriage and sexual relations. So that's not what I'm doing. Abstinent means, I want to give y'all the definition. I know my definitions, but abstinence, the fact or practice of restraining oneself from indulging in something. It says typically alcohol, but I'm abstaining from sex, right? So I've been abstaining from sex for like a year and some change.
You know what that is? Growth. You a big girl. Got them big girl panties.
And I have learned some things about myself, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all 5 things that I've learned since I've been abstaining from sex for a year. Number 1, my senses are more heightened. So when you haven't had sex in a long time, that's how I feel. When you've been abstaining from sex for a long time, you'll find that your senses are more heightened to things that are relation to that. For example, like let's say I feel like a breeze down I feel like a breeze down my dress. Chris breeze or something, or up my dress. It's like, ooh, wow, like that's nice, you know, or ooh, I'm a little sensitive to that because you haven't done anything for a while. You become more sensitive. Your senses become more heightened to what you like and what you don't like. You're more turned on by like a smell, for example, that you probably wouldn't have thought anything of if you were having sex. I know it sounds really weird, but it's true. And you just smell like a guy that smells really, really good, and your nose is like super attracted to that, and you like your mind just runs wild because like you haven't had any in a long time. So it kind of puts in perspective like the things that you've been desensitized to when you were actually having sex, because you appreciate the things that you're hypersensitive to now that you aren't having sex. It makes sense. The people that aren't fucking, they know what I'm talking about. Number 2, you're more disciplined and picky. Once you stop having sex for a long time, you become very picky in who you want to break that cycle. You know, like, I'm not dealing with that, or they did this, that, and the third, but they're still not getting in my pants because they haven't showed me this, or they haven't done this, or you know, it makes you way more picky, and it also makes you more disciplined because let's say if you're talking to someone or dating a guy or a girl, I'm sure this applies to men too, but let's say you're dating someone and that person is not abstaining and they getting frisky and stuff and touchy, it helps you put in perspective, like, okay, is this person really ready for this? Am I really ready to give up all the progress I've made to this person under these very tempting circumstances? And it really like puts you to the test, and the strong will survive, and oftentimes you will be happy that you did in the end. Number 3, I value myself a lot more. I value my body a lot more. I know for me, when I'm talking to someone and we stop talking and I didn't do anything with them, I get over them more quickly.
I mean, he could be walking down the street, I wouldn't know a thing.
And I'm also like so proud of myself that I didn't give in, because obviously that person wasn't the right person for me, because sex automatically complicates things. So it always just makes me feel really good that like you know, I still got some part with me that they didn't get. You know, they may have gotten my time, they may have gotten my energy, but they didn't get my body. It's like, it's very sacred to me now. It's more sacred than it's ever been. This is number 4. It makes you realize that like a lot of guys, and this is, I'm talking from my experience, I don't know if it's like this for men that are going through abstinence or whatever, abstaining, but for me, I noticed that a lot of guys don't actually really like you. They just lust after you. They just, you know, think you're pretty, or they're just infatuated by you. When you tell them that you're not finna sleep with them, a lot of them, a strong, like I would say 80% of them, they disappear because that's what they wanted in the first place. So when you tell them, hey, this isn't that kind of party, I'm looking for this, that, and the third before I can give you this, that, and the third, then they will skedaddle.
Niggas can't be around here no more, dog. Skedaddle. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fucking moving, dog. Get fucking down.
Because oftentimes they don't even, they don't value you like you want to be valued, and they don't feel like they should have to wait, or they just don't want to wait. Even if they do value you, they just like, ah, whatever, like I don't want to wait. I need my wee sucked today. It's my wee and I need it sucked now. So yeah, that, like, guys, they, a lot of times they just lust after you. They don't even really want you for real. And being abstinent has really showed me, they drop like flies once you tell them it's a no. Number 5, I learned that sex isn't everything. It is nice to just simply get to know somebody without sleeping with them. That's freaking nice. That's how relationships should be, and that's how they should be getting started. If you just start sleeping with somebody, you automatically have this attachment to somebody, and you don't even know them. You don't know their character. You don't know how they are. And when you're having sex, a lot of people don't realize it's actually like women release a chemical that causes I don't know what chemical it is. I don't know if it's serotonin or oxytocin, but it's some chemical, or dopamine, some chemical that gets released that makes women bond with men when they're having sex. So you could be bonding with a complete stranger and you don't even know. People don't even take the chance, take the time to get to know someone anymore. They just want to stick their privates in them or receive their privates in them. So like, when you take sex off of the table, especially, and it's so crazy to me because it's actually really shown me how much guys really do think about sex. Like, I was talking to a couple of dudes and it just seems like, you know, even when you tell them that you're not having sex, the conversations still end up being sexual, which is okay sometimes, but then sometimes it's just like, well, I'm still not having sex with you, so what is the point of this? Like, our conversation should be more than just the sexual aspect. I really feel like that's how you get to know someone, and being around them without anything sexual happening is really how you get to know someone. So sex is just like the icing on a cake if you're in a relationship, or if you're dating someone you like or whatever. That's just the icing on the cake. We still need the foundation of the cake. We still need the eggs, the flour, the milk, all of that stuff.
Come on, Emma.
We still need the other components. We don't need just the icing, because icing would just be icing with no cake, and that's cavities. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. If anybody can relate, please leave a comment below. Yeah, and thank you so much for watching. Got a blast.